Hello, YouTube. It is August 16th, 2019. Let me get into the topic. I got all my stuff laid out. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, the topic of the day is going to be Hannibal. Now, y'all know I posted done this a couple weeks ago, but y'all know I've been late on some videos for obvious reasons. Y'all know, get my life readjusted. Y'all have already seen my meltdown, so that derailed me for a moment. In addition to my job, my medical issues, y'all know, in addition to Crohn's disease, I recently been battling epilepsy, so I've had to get that under control. So now we finally back on track, but it actually worked out for the end. It always seems to work out that way. No, 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 no. But yeah, I'm glad that it actually was derailed because of the fact that I just thought about just combining this topic of Hannibal and like my fellow Capricorn says, Forest Rock. Shout out to Forest Rock. She's my YouTube suggestion of the day. The white people tales. Honey, I love when darn Forest Rocks darn go into talking about the white people tale. Honey, if y'all ain't darn familiar with Forest Rocks, go check her out. Her stuff will be in the description box below. I still don't know if I'm going to do this as a premiere or not. Considering that I do have 3 videos scheduled for tomorrow, which is something I've also learned. I finally learned how to do scheduled videos on YouTube. So I've been loving that, that way I get to get out the house more and I don't have to be at the house to put the video on, because I used to just upload the videos at live time when I was home. But now I don't have to be at the house, don't have to be on the web at all. I can schedule them days out. So I got 3 videos coming out tomorrow on LGBT oppression around the world and how it tackles into why LGBT anti L I mean it goes into discussing why LGBT policies are definitely needed in Congress, opposing discrimination laws set for LGBT, especially with all the stuff that's going on not only in America, but during this mini series that I have coming up tomorrow. I have 3 videos coming out back to back to back. Check out my main channel. I will have the time frames for them by then, but they're going to be dropping, I want to say, every couple hours. I might set one for 9:30, 11:30, and 1:30. It's all going to come back to back to back tomorrow. I just did one for a TV review. Hopefully I don't get no copyright strike. We're going to do that for Sunday. I've recorded it today. I'm going to, edit it tomorrow, and then that's going to be up on Sunday. So that's the schedule. That's what it's looking like to wrap out the end of this week. So we got a video every single day for this week. Diva Juan is trying to be more consistent with this scheduling on YouTube and getting, times and stuff set out. So look out for some TV reviews come Sunday, LGBT talk on Saturday, and wrapping it in and comparing it to Black Hit One. Once again, I make sure to note numerous times throughout this series that the comparison is similarities and not congruency when it comes to LGBT oppression versus black suppression, because you're going to notice in the video that LGBT oppression and black suppression is somewhat synonymous in some of the countries that we mentioned, and I would differentiate those issues during that series. So look out for that come Saturday. Once again, those videos are coming back to back to back Saturday. But as far as this one right here, I don't know what day y'all are seeing this. You know what? Matter of fact, we're going to put this one on Sunday as well for the good old Christian folks. Because as y'all can tell about my feelings for the Christian community, now y'all will already be seeing the series by now. So I don't even know why I even broke down just talking about the time frames, when now I just thought in my head it's very befitting that I'm going to put this video on Sunday. So y'all already going to see the 3 series anyway on Saturday that I'm going to have on LGBT, but we're going to bring it on home on Sunday morning for the good old Christian folks, honey. They're going to really be mad at my ass, but I don't give a damn. But yeah, Hannibal. So I'm not familiar with Hannibal, but I guess he was a black person. It wouldn't surprise me because most of the stuff from the Bible is taken from the Kemet anyway. Another reason why I don't understand why black people are diehard Christians is like, if you're going to follow the darn root origins of the doctrine, why not go to the motherland, back to the Kemetic origins of which the darn stuff was derived from, but the undiluted, undemonic, twisted versions of it. And that's why I also wanted to make the series. I mentioned during the end of my video series when I was breaking out LGBT oppression across the world, when I noticed a common theme about the LGBT oppression was with it tied into Christianity throughout the whole world. We break it down in China, the West Indians, Africa, and America. The common similarity all goes to the Bible, and I break down, I give a little hint about how God is the true devil, and the devil is really the idolized version of Jesus, of what you would think Jesus Christ would be. And I'm still thinking about whether I want to do that video or not. But we're gonna get more. Seeing how y'all react to these videos would determine whether I touch that subject or not, about God being the devil and the devil really being the Jesus. But it was flipped in our minds as black people to look up to the false God, who is really more of the demonic spirit, versus the one they call Lucifer, which is more so of the neutral party. I wouldn't necessarily say he's Jesus in the stereotypical image of what they portray, but he's definitely not necessarily the evil which they portray. Once again, I might just do that video. But 7 minutes, I always spend 7 minutes darn on summarizing other stuff, but now it's time to get on into the topic. So with that being said, History Channel portrays Hannibal as black. White people cry foul over historical revisionism. Oh, the white people tears. Honey, I need a meme of Dargon. I need to do a gif of Dargon Forest Rocks with the Dargon white people tears. Honey, Forest Rocks, somebody need to make a Dargon gif for you. I need to just start including that in my video every time we talk about the white people tears. Honey, shout out to Forest Rocks. But History Channel's newest documentary series, Barbarian Rising, tackle the fall of Rome over the course of 700 years of invasions. However, the most recent episode that aired Monday depicts Hannibal of Carthage as a black man, and many white history buffs are crying foul of the historical inaccuracy. How ironic, but we about to get y'all together soon enough, honey, on y'all darn hypocrisy, on calling out darn false darn pictures. Okay. In the series, Hannibal is portrayed by black British actor Nicholas Pinnock. The famous Carthaginian was a thorn in the emperor's side. He became a general at the age of 26 and managed to unite barbarian tribes to stop Rome's imperial rise. The military genius was famous for climbing the Alps with war elephants, whose sole purpose was to stomp the Roman army. Hannibal ultimately wanted to invade Rome, but he failed to do so. There have been debates over the race of Hannibal. This debate still continues to this day. Here are some YouTube comments that were left below. Oh, and they at least they showing their true image of who they are, honey. These racist folks, honey. Well, Jesus supposed to be in, but we're going to get to Jesus in a moment. Stop manipulating our North African history. Hannibal was not a black sub-Saharan Africa. Stop the foolishness. He was a Carthage for Christ's sakes. Okay, there they go trying to make it seem like the North Africans were darn white people. But honey, my girl Cynthia G, honey, now I don't agree with her all the time, but honey, she been breaking down that darn history about y'all white people thinking y'all up in Africa. Now I'm a little bit more I'm not as harsh as Cynthia, because I I'm open to everybody, black, white, Native American, Asian, Hispanic, but I am from a scientific background, especially not being religious. So from a scientific background, science does lean more towards Cynthia's darn on videos of late. I would leave her stuff down below as well, getting y'all together on these darn on white Africans, honey. I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you can have Aussie and Brits playing ancient Egyptians, it should be okay with his portrayal as well. I agree, Brian Piper. But let's continue on. So this is a little documentary they got, and for the sake of this being History Channel and they known to strike people, I'm going to go ahead and manipulate the speed to get around, the YT people, honey. So this is going to be sped up on purpose.
Hannibal is a Carthaginian aristocrat from the Barcid family, who are a significant family in Carthage.
He's talented, he has grit, he has perseverance. Hannibal is one of the few enemies Rome had that they actually respect and idolize, and that is a lot because of his tremendous achievement.
He's got a famous father who's fought against the Romans, who nurtures him, in the words of some of the writers, as a lion cub raised for the destruction of Rome.
Carthage really was Rome's only competitor as an empire in the central and western Mediterranean. When his men see him at the age of 26, when he takes command of the Carthaginian army, they see his father reborn in him, in his gestures and the way he speaks and the way he holds himself. They see a commander of the greatest promise.
We will be victorious!
Hannibal has a global vision. He realizes that Rome is on the rise, and that if Rome is not stopped, that it means not only the end of Carthage, but it also means the end of the various barbarian tribes. He also recognizes that the only way that Rome can be stopped is with the assistance of these allies.
At that point, Hannibal knew what he would have done: invade Italy. To do that, he needed a big army. Carthaginians were not enough. He had to recruit the barbarian communities of southern and central Spain.
It's a difficult task. It's a very diverse army, and Hannibal has to get them to work together.
He was promising them loot,
black
wealth,
person in the
adventure,
movie.
and wealth. Let's go, guys. Hannibal's plan to attack the Romans is both audacious, visionary, and extremely risky. He plans to march about 1,000 miles overland and to cross the Alps. He feels that whatever the cost, the advantage in shocking the Romans with him turning up in Italy will make it all worthwhile.
Strange enough, he started the enterprise in the fall. He didn't wait for spring, so he got ready to cross the Alps in the worst conditions possible. It's apparently insane.
He's dealing with an environment such he's never faced before. It's winter in all its fury. It's ice, it's snow, it's wind, it's frostbite. It's just terrible.
It looked like he had led.
Okay, just darn on stopping it at that point. It's like the movie still contained over 90% darn on white people. You have nobody but white darn on archaeologists and historians darn on doing these recaps of it. And it's like y'all still mad. And why on these darn on, oh my goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. I hope you two don't darn on hit me on this darn. Why we got this going on the side? Now, this just threw off my whole train of darn on thought. Here we is darn on talking about a serious topic, and we got darn on thong advertisements on the side. So I apologize to my more conservative folks, but let's go on here and get into it.
His army into unmitigated disaster. Order was breaking apart, food was scarce, dogs were eating soldiers. It's indescribable.
Despite all the disasters of the Alps, he keeps his eye on the ball. He understands once he can get to Italy, he can rebuild everything. It'll be a whole new war, a whole new ballgame. So that's why he's able to get through the situation in the Alps.
The outcome of the passing makes some of Hannibal's priorities very pressing. He has to fight the Romans immediately and score several big victories. And this is what he does.
All these thousands of people, I can
The
count the
Romans
black
put forth
folks
their best
I've
legions
seen on
in front
one
of
hand.
him, and they can't stop him. One after the other, he brings them to destruction. And this builds a momentum all its own.
Romans at Cannae put together an enormously large army. They've got about 80,000 men on the battlefield, and they vastly outnumber Hannibal, who's only got about 50,000 men. How is he going to defeat the Romans? And the answer is he wants the Romans to come into a trap. And partly because Hannibal set his trap well, and partly because the Romans are overconfident, they fall completely into the trap. It's a paradigmatic example of how you defeat the Romans. You ambush them. And Cannae is the greatest ambush in ancient history.
Hannibal's plan for the Battle of Cannae is absolutely brilliant. 70,000 Roman troops fall in a single day. Strategists, tacticians, ever since, have striven to copy what he achieved. It represents tactical perfection. Strategists, tacticians, ever since, have striven to copy what the barbarians achieved because
that's basically the summary in a nutshell. That's the gist of Hannibal. And like I said, I'm not as familiar with the Bible, so my Christian folks get down there and tell me, is this a historical depiction? Because like I said, I'm more confused why it wasn't even more black people. Like, Was Hannibal and a handful of others just the only folks up in North Africa? Now I know North Africans are more light skinned and they have the thin noses and the lace, the curly hair and all that. The hair is not kinky, West African texture hair, per se. However, I would think the least see some of them. I ain't even see no yellow tone Africans up in Africa. Like everybody's pure white. Like let's darn on Google search. Oh shoot, I don't have it open just yet. Let me go ahead and pause this. Shoot, I had to darn on jump and see what some North African people actually look like. Cause hell, everybody was looking darn on paler than a sheet of paper. Oh hell, I guess they do. I guess they are sort of. But see, I ain't even see too many of them that look like this. This the color I'm talking about. Like I ain't even see no yellow tone Africans throughout the movie. Like everybody had to look more like this. Like where was the yellow tone Africans? This is what I think of when I think of North Africans. I didn't even see none of them in the darn movie. Y'all talking about historical inaccuracy with darn Hannibal. But even with the Google search, I'm seeing some chocolate darn North African sister. See, she look like she could be my darn sister, honey. Darn nose, lip size, similar and everything. Like I ain't seen none of them that look like me. We just seen all the ones that look like him, man. Ooh, he does look like a darn snack, honey. Okay, honey. No. Too bad most of them don't look like this though. But yeah, just a darn mess. But what do y'all think on darn Hannibal being black? I'm leaning to say that he did look more like that now. Considering North Africa, maybe he might not have been as dark. Now I'm not familiar with the history of Hannibal. I'm guessing that he might have been like a mid-tone brown skinned person. Let me scroll down to see who I would think Hannibal's color would look like. Like her complexion. Like I would think, he would have still been black, but more like a deep copper, caramelish tone black. That's just my opinion from the lack of knowledge of Hannibal. And, just generalizing the aesthetic of North African people. That's would have been me. I wouldn't have made him as black as if he was sub-Saharan African. But he would have definitely been a melanated person nonetheless from what I've heard of stories of Hannibal. But it's mighty funny that they talking about darn on double standards and shit. Yet let's get into darn on Jesus Christ, who in the Bible they say was, am I paused? Okay. In the Bible they say Jesus had copper skin and hair is woolly. So when we think of that, we thinking of anywhere from like a Beyonce hair texture to my hair texture. But this is what they got Jesus looking like though. This is all the images of darn on fair skinned Jesus. Long hair and all this shit, right? This is who we got of Jesus. Does that look like copper skin to you? Now this is why I say I can't take Christian folks seriously. In the Bible, y'all don't even darn depict Jesus in the image of which they claim that he's supposed to be. Since when did darn ivory become copper? Like, there can be some variations in skin tone. Like caramel can be a range of up to like 5 or 6 skin tones. Chocolate can be like different degrees of chocolate. Like you got your light chocolate like Tamika Sumter, and then you got your rich deep chocolate like Viola Davis. But ain't nobody looking at this and they're gonna thinking of no motherfucking copper. Ain't nobody looking at this and thinking of darn on copper skin. And what is woolly? This does not look like no motherfucking woolly hair. But y'all crying about darn on historical inaccuracies. And then even when you try to Google search black Jesus, you got this darn on shit coming up. You got this coming up. There's still no darn accuracies. There's one that might be somewhat there, but although I do believe that Jesus' hair was a little bit longer. But that's what I would classify him more than anything. But even when you Google search black Jesus, for the most part, they just darn dip them. Like, what is this going on? Like, we can't get a curl pattern or something. They said his hair was woolly. So I'm not saying that Jesus had to have a 4C afro, but could we at least got some 3A texture curls? Like, why are they just darn gonna look like they just made a Julius Caesar painted black? Like, I don't understand this. And then there's the one on Good Times. This is just a shame. Even when you Google search Black Jesus, there ain't really no historical accuracy of the darn on picture. Wait a minute, who's that? I would have thought maybe something but maybe a little bit lighter. See, now my personal thing of Jesus being in Jerusalem, I would think maybe a couple shades lighter than him and the texture about around here. Because I do imagine that Jesus' hair did fall down. It didn't grow necessarily out, but it was not as defined and it was more of a woolly texture. Woolly does not necessarily mean 4C afro. Cottony is not always 4C. Like, this could be cottony if it's a more undefined fro and it's doggone wild. You know how Beyonce has her hair and it is not defined, but it's natural and it's type 3B. That's how I would imagine Jesus would be, but like a couple shades darker than Beyonce with woolly hair, but undeniably black nonetheless. Deep copper skin tone, like they said. And Lord knows, I hope my doggone girl pal from beauty school don't come across this video, because we went into a debate about this shit. Honey, she was even mad that I doggone said Jesus was brown skin. I was like, well, damn, that's what the Bible said. The doggone Jesus was copper. You doggone giving me pictures of doggone. We went at it for 8 hours. I'm getting into a soapbox real quick. But honey, me and this girl we went in a doggone political debate, 8 hours over religion I don't even follow. All because I said that Jesus that was about 2 shades darker than a classmate that we had that was around Beyonce's complexion. Now, a white sister brought up Jesus in the doggone treatment room when we was in beauty school, and she was telling her that you was right about Jesus being black or whatever, and it does show that he was extremely dark. I was like, well, I don't think he was extremely dark. They said his skin was copper, and that's when the conversation started. It was a mild conversation in the treatment room. It went from the treatment room till I got home at around 7 o'clock. No, I got home early that day. I got home around, let me see. It was pretty early. I got home around 4 something that day for whatever reason. And I remember we just went at it all day about Jesus, to the point where I had to block her. We didn't speak for weeks. We been since made up. But just the topic of doggone Christianity is a hot button topic, even amongst people who aren't religious, because she was a pro-black woman long before I even got into the conscious community. And she was showing all these images of the Pope bowing down to Jesus that looked like this. And I was like, okay, well, the metal oxidized over time, so that's not a historically accurate point. So I was debunking all the statues that she was showing me of the black Jesus being as charcoal. But it was like, well, if his skin was that doggone dark, they would describe it as doggone charcoal or midnight or rich or oil slick or something of that caliber, but not doggone copper. When you think of copper, you think of like a hue of brown, not a hue of blackness. Or they would have just said he was pure melanated, but not doggone copper. You don't think of blackness when you think of copper, pure black color like this, as opposed to, my skin tone will be, seen as a copper at the deepest level. But needless to say, we can doggone all agree whether doggone Jesus is this color, Cash Money, not the doggone side right here, not the Cash Money side, but this color right here, or this color. Or if he was doggone caramel, we could all universally agree that motherfucker was not doggone this. But doggone, I don't hear not near pushback on this on a large level about why this is mainstream every day. But y'all want to cry about doggone Hannibal, though. Y'all crying about a fictional character about Ariel the Little Mermaid. Now, I am a little bit irritated that they didn't make Halle Bailey her own version of the mermaid. That's why I'm pissed off by it. I am pissed off that they doggone gave Halle Bailey a doggone temporary appeasement role. They could have made Halle Bailey her own mermaid. But y'all doggone irritated for a whole nother reason But y'all out here darn literally got Jesus looking like this. Then let's go to the ancient Egyptians and what they were portrayed on the hieroglyphics. Once again, look at my skin tone, look at my features. You see how dark and melanated that these people were? And this is them at the lightest, you know, a deep caramelish tone complexion. Maybe J-Lo at the lightest. You don't see no ivory. You don't see no rose color complexions. This is darn on the hieroglyphics. But then, this is some of the people that claim that they're North African now. I mean, Middle Eastern, the same thing with the Egyptians. Here we go. Here we go right here with them. Oh, no, I know they kidding me with this one. Are you serious? Really, girl? You look like you could be related. You look like you could be Chelsea Clinton darn on sister. Stop it, girl. But they don't never show the ones like this, though. The ones that look closer in my darn on the study, they don't show this, though, even though those are the ones that are on the hieroglyphics, though. But they're going to show this one. Once again, little eye candy, though. I will give them this. They do got some eye candy every now and again out the bunch. But not a damn enough to be justifying darn on erasing no culture. And even then, you still ain't going to get away with erasing the darn on culture, honey. Chopping the nose off the darn on pharaohs and everything else. The darn on make it seem like the majority of them look like this. Oh, hell no. And Beyonce said it best. Let me go ahead and go to the Black Effect lyric, honey. Y'all know I got to be careful with Beyonce, honey. Anything over 7 seconds, they be trying to copyright.
Hello, hello. I will never let you shoot the nose off my yeah.
Honey, one more time in slow motion for y'all. If y'all didn't catch that Black Effect lyric, let me slow it down for y'all.
Hello, hello. I will never let you shoot the nose off my pharaoh. Yeah.
Honey, well, Beyonce been successful with them not shooting the nose off her pharaoh, but everybody else throughout the whole years, honey, that's what they been doing. Because once again, Black Jesus, well, not this motherfucker, but you know, the imagery of Black Jesus and then their Jesus, honey. Egyptian people of all different tones, but mostly about around this man's complexion. But then these the ones that they show on TV and in the movies, though. But then we see what the hieroglyphics look like, though. But y'all darn gone mad over Hannibal, though. But y'all out here darn gone literally whitewashing darn gone actual darn gone people. And a doctrine of somebody who y'all claim supposed to be real. And then let's even wrap this up with the darn on Statue of Liberty. Honey, America, you ain't darn on exempt from this bullshit either. Because let's go ahead into the Statue of Liberty. The original one given to us by France that looked more like a black woman. Now, I know there's some fallacy points to this because the painter, the person who did the Statue of Liberty was actually thinking about his mother in the image, who's supposed to be a white woman, but for whatever reason with the oxidation and the carvery of it, she happens to be more aesthetically like a black woman. So there's stories that the original Statue of Liberty was actually sculpted in the eyes of the creator's mother, who happened to be a shapely European woman, but she aesthetically, due to the material that they use, had appeared like a white woman because once again the stereotyping with hair texture. Some people believe that white people cannot have curly hair, and that is farthest from the truth. You have plenty of white people who can have type 3 hair, 3A, 3B, and this creator's mother of the statue is no exception. So looking at this, it looks like a shapely darn black woman. So since they said that this girl was looking a little bit too sisterly, honey, they said, we got to go and give her a little bit more androgynous, old, nun-like look, because this looked like one of the bitches from darn gone, let me be my God, my God. Honey, that looked like one of the darn on sisters off of Sister Act, honey. No shade. Well, honey, all reads, honey. No shade, but just a direct read, bitch. You can't tell me this darn on strong face looking statue don't look like one of the darn on androgynous sisters from darn on Sister Act, honey. And I ain't talking about the big one from Hocus Pocus, because that was one of the prettiest ones out the one, including the one that darn on sung from the diaphragm, but all the other ones, honey, older dragoness looking bitches, honey. Y'all couldn't even in the statue form, you couldn't handle all this melanin and curve action. Y'all had to darn go get an old stick figure covered up in a darn green cloth, honey. You just had to make an old green cloth for it. You just couldn't handle this darn deep melanin up against this darn whiteness, honey. Y'all just had to darn paint the bitch green envy. Y'all was so envious of this darn shapely one right here. Y'all just darn say, bitch, just paint the whole darn Sister Mary darn what's a C word for a white woman? Well, it's Charlie. Let's darn paint Charlie green, bitch. I ain't even gonna do Clarence like that. Because this is more so Sister Mary Clarence over here. This is darn Sister Mary Charlie. Once again, Sister Mary Clarence and Sister darn Charlie. But y'all motherfuckers talking about darn historical inaccuracies though. Y'all darn complain throughout this whole thing, as far as these people, about the darn color of darn Hannibal. But this the shit that we as black people got to put up through on a daily basis. This is what we got to put up with, though. Let it make sense. But that's my thoughts, y'all, on that. What y'all thoughts on this? Like I said, the darn hypocrisy of it all, for them going into a bitch fit about a melanated darn Hannibal from whoever he is, but this is what they are known for doing overall. And of course, once again, if this doesn't apply to you, let it fly. I know this does not apply to all racist people. Don't apply to all white people. This only applies to the ones who are corrupt at the top, who like to distort history and darn gonna keep us darn gonna divided as darn gonna people. But I'd love to know y'all thoughts on this darn on subject. Not necessarily my expertise, but from my little bit of scientific background and not historical knowledge on Hannibal. Like I said, I don't really do that Bible, so this is my limited perspective on Hannibal. I don't see no problem with him being depicted as black, even if he was a fair-skinned person. It's like, well, hell, with all what y'all done did to us with darn actual Jesus, which for y'all that's darn brainwash the darn follow Jesus, but at least if you're going to follow the darn one they say, at least follow the one they darn depict. It's like, damn, y'all can't even get darn Jesus the right shape. Anything in the world. And matter of fact, I should have included darn sugar up in here. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and darn break down how really darn historical inaccurate these motherfuckers are. I'm about to really go there. I was gonna spare it, but I know I'm about to really go there with the hypocrisy. Because let me tell y'all how trifling these racist people are in their feelings. Anything black, they always see as the mind, and that's why I always say that the devil and the image of what they try to call the devil is actually of Jesus, and the Jesus is actually of the devil, because everything darn dark and darn they seem demonic and black, they always seem to wrap it back around to to some evilness or unhealthiness, like even down to rice. Let's break down rice, something that everybody eats on a daily basis. Now, when I just type rice into Google, this is what's going to come up. We're so darn gonna colonize that this is rice by default. Now, anybody who has an ounce of scientific knowledge know that nothing in nature is really purely white, and rice is no different. If you're eating this type of rice, you're pretty much eating bleached out, darn gone arsenistic, darn gone starch, honey. This darn gone rice, the germ is completely removed. It ain't nothing but bleach processed starch, and you wonder why you have to darn gone take that water off. It's not just to get the dirt off of it, it's to take out some of that residue bleach chemicals off this rice as well. Now I'm about to break down some culinary experience on that ass, honey. I'm a bitch with multiple hats, honey. Not only do I have more than one bonnet, true to black culture, but I also got more than one hat that I wear. So in addition to my little bit of historian knowledge and scientific knowledge, we about to also include some darn on culinary knowledge about why this rice ain't healthy. Because once again, the germ, which contains the endosperm, is where you get the majority of your nutrients from the rice. So if you're eating the darn on the white rice that got the germ and endosperm removed, you're pretty much not consuming nothing but darn on starch. Now, if we put the brown in front of it, then you will notice you have more benefits. Brown rice. Now you got a little bit more color. You got some of that endosperm and germ is still attached to it. Now, for y'all, this really going to freak y'all out. Black rice. A lot of y'all haven't even seen this. Has 3 times more protein than the white rice because this is the most purest of the pure before they try to bleach it out. Black rice and wild rice. This is what you should be eating. This is where the germ and endosperm is at the heaviest concentration. The protein is as much as 8 grams per serving. Versus the white rice, which they bleached out, has only about 3 to 4 grams of protein per serving. But a lot of y'all are going and getting that darn gone white rice, especially at the Chinese restaurant. And then you wonder why China is synonymously leading in cancer diagnosis. You think it's a coincidence that a country that deals with soy sauce and darn gone bleach rice is the ones that lead in the entire world with cancer diagnosis? But then when you go to Africa and they darn gone consuming black and wild rice, you notice that the cancer diagnosis is not heavy in those darn gone countries of Africa, the so-called shithole countries that darn gone Donald Trump would like you to portray, but the darn gone cancer diagnoses are substantially less in Africa than they are in China. The darn gone resources are so plentiful to the point where Chinese people are moving there in groves and darn gone trying to colonize darn gone Africa in 2019, forcing darn gone Africans to darn gone speak Mandarin. Coming to somebody else darn gone country, the shithole country, honey, and darn gone building up restaurants trying to serve the people white rice, but here's the black rice. That's the most healthiest stuff. And you trying to force, that's what you call darn gone distorting darn gone history, brainwashing, colonizing. But y'all have the darn gone audacity to be mad at a darn gone Hannibal flick. But even down to darn gone food, y'all so insecure in y'all feelings, y'all can't even let the rice maintain its natural color. Because y'all can't even think of something so darn gone beneficial being darn gone as rich in hue as black. So y'all motherfuckers darn gone went as far as the bleach the rice, because there's no reason why the rice should be white. There's nothing but aesthetic appeal, and it's really from a psychological what's the word I'm looking for? From a psychological background of it. Now I'm not a psychiatrist, but I'm going to try my best to try to break this down. From a psychology standpoint, you are so insecure with black seeming dominant in any form and fashion that even outside of humans, you try to make anything associated with black seen evil. From darn on the crow, the black cat is always seen as darn on bad luck, but the white darn on dove is seen as purity and all of that. The white rice is the #1 rice marketed to us, but the blackest rice is the most healthiest for us. It has 3 times more the nutrients. If you don't believe me, Google search it. Matter of fact, let's do it right here for y'all. White rice versus black rice. A 1/3 cup serving of dry black rice contains 200 calories, while the same serving of white rice contains 225 calories. Black rice has lesser carbs, but it's high in fiber and a better source of protein than white rice. Is black rice healthier than white? Like brown rice, black rice, which is actually more purple than black, retains the outer brain layer that has been removed from the rice, the endosperm and all that. White rice, as a result, both brown and black rice are higher in fiber and some nutrients. It also contains heartier and chewier. Okay, as a result, both brown and black rice are higher in fiber and some nutrients and are heartier and chewier than the white rice equivalent. So that's your doggone definition right there. But most of y'all would still be eating that doggone white rice. Now let's go and I'm about to doggone even break this down to sugar. Let's doggone type sugar in. Now they actually tackle this subject a little bit on Queen Sugar. If y'all watch doggone Oprah Winfrey Network, where the racist doggone woman said how they remove the impurities from sugar and it comes out as pure white as it should be. And she doggone was calling doggone Charlie all types of mulattoes and everything else. But let's break down the origin of sugar. Now, when we Google search sugar, what's the normal one default of sugar? Once again, as white as snow, honey. White, pure as snow. But then when we Google search sugar cane, green and brown. You see how they got a yellowish tone to it before they darn gonna pull all the impurities back that they call, which is actually the nutritional values. Because once again, let's darn gonna do brown sugar versus darn gonna white sugar. So white sugar versus brown sugar. Whereas brown sugar is also white sugar with molasses added to it, which makes brown sugar has more liquid and has around 0.25 fewer calories per gram than white sugar. Brown sugar contains slightly more minerals than refined white sugar, but only because it contains the molasses. Which sugar is best for you? While one type doesn't win hands down, St. Pierre has advised on a scale. See now. There's some lies going on up in here. Let me go ahead and Google search sugar before it's processed. Because there are some fallacies going on up in here. Y'all ain't going to make it just seem like it's darn on due to the molasses. Now, I understand that the brown sugar that we get in the store has some molasses and stuff added to it. As a Southern diva, I know from North Carolina, if you couldn't place this accent. But we're going to darn gone break this down. Okay, once again, as you can tell, the brownish hue, the raw sugar. So it might not be as pure, deep brown as, what a black rice or brown rice look like. But as you can tell, it's not this darn on starchy white color. Honey, I know Google wasn't about to make me look like a fool for a moment, honey. Oh, hell no. But it's like, once again, some people are so insecure with themselves that you can't even leave something as simple as sugar in its raw form. You have to darn on process it just for it to look aesthetically white. You have to process it to look aesthetically white. Really? You just couldn't darn on stick with the one thing that is darn on white in nature, which is the salt, very bitter, which is very reminiscent of some of these racist folk. You just couldn't darn on just stick with darn on salt being closer to you. Even with the darn on sugar, which is synonymous with sweetness. You had to darn on bleach it to your liking of your darn on hue. Because you couldn't even darn on for a second even darn on risk it darn on being brown, such as brown skinned people. But then you want to talk about somebody in their darn on feelings. Somebody, you want to talk about characters being changed in darn on cartoons. You want to talk about a black Hannibal, but you so insecure on a global level that y'all couldn't even darn on leave sugar in its purest state. Y'all couldn't even darn on depict Africans and the darn on what they look like in the hieroglyphics. Y'all got these motherfuckers darn on portraying 99% of the darn on Africans. And if we lucky, we might get a J-Lo type of bitch that darn on play a dark skinned sister. But y'all won't never portray somebody of his darn on hue though. Oh, that's just doing too much. That's just doing too much. And then this one right here, oh hell no. Pure Saharian blackness up in the motherland, up in Africa, in Egypt ruling. Oh no, that's just doing too much. But then y'all want to darn gonna cry and throw a bitch fit about her story. And once again, let's darn gonna see this one more time in this motherfucking comment section. I'm done, y'all. Like I said, I can go all day on this subject, but we just gonna stop it here. So what are y'all thoughts on this right here? I'm still contemplating on whether I'm going to do it in a live stream or not, especially since I have to edit some stuff. I don't know. I might darn on, because it's so much easier just to upload a video as is. The moment that I have to go into my editing software, then it just becomes a bitch, because then I got to, I don't know. I need to stop being lazy and get back to that darn on softwares. But this week, honey, it ain't going to be the week. So I do think I'm going to end up uploading this as a premiere after all. So if I have anybody in here on Sunday, probably not. But if so, if y'all decide to look at it on the premiere, y'all tell me y'all thoughts in the sidebar. And another thing I will do, I will darn on start notating points in the video, like, because after y'all look at the video live, I will be able to timestamp it in the comments. But while y'all are looking at it during premiere mode, I know it get irritating if I'm spending 7 minutes just rambling. So I think I'll do some timestamping throughout the video, even if I'm the only person in the darn premiere, honey. So if it's just me and one other person in the premiere, I'll still be nice to you. And thank you so much to the 1 or 2 people. Look, y'all know we small, honey. I don't got no 200-300 people looking at me, but I appreciate the little 2, 3, 4, 5 that darn gonna drop by the darn gonna live streams. So we're gonna darn gonna do some time stamping in real time during the premieres as well, so y'all know when I'm getting to certain points throughout the video. So that is it, y'all. I appreciate y'all for dropping by. Like, comment, share, subscribe, or if you want to leave some constructive criticism or dislike, you can do that too. And I'll see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.